IMSU, Uniport, UST, ASUT, Federal University of Agriculture, Omudike, UNN, etc., without JAMB or post-UTME to study nursing science, medicine and surgery, pharmacy, law, or any course of your choice. Hostel is available for all students. Cost of form is 20,000 naira, and you can pick the form from Learning World, Abia Poly Alumni Plaza, last floor. Lecturers and secretaries can apply for employment. For more details, call the coordinator on 0702-520-4933. Again, 0702-520-4933. Thanks for listening.
Let us come before his presence with thanksgiving and make a joyful noise unto him. Psalm 95 and verse 2. I am your brother, Dr. O. Emmanuel. Join me and BTF family worldwide to thank this God of O. Emmanuel for preserving my life and his work in my hands. Praise the God of O. Emmanuel. The God of O. Emmanuel is great. This Sunday, 27th April 2025, the time is 11 a.m. prompt at Breakthrough Fellowship International Church, 269 Aba Owerri Road by Ezesco Filling Station, right here in the city of Aba. Don't miss this great opportunity. Your miracle is sure. In my Thanksgiving service, call us now on 080-331-60312. See you this Sunday. Jesus.
We're the station that beats all the competition. And we'll prove it as soon as we hear any competition. 102.9.
There is no water, electricity is in politics. Women are marginalized.
As the democratic space gets broader and political activities become more intense, with many Nigerians angling for relevance and agitating for their voices to be heard, Magic 102.9 FM Aba has taken a giant leap by providing the needed platform that captures the essence of your individual, corporate, and most importantly, your political needs.
You see, the government is trying, but it's just this insecurity.
Yes, showcase your aspirations, opinions, and more as a politician, political party, government, community, organization, association, and more. Join Magic 102.9 FM Aba on People and Politics, Mondays to Fridays at 9 a.m. For inquiries and participation, please call 0903-282-3717. People and Politics, providing the alternative voice within the democratic space.
And so the next meeting of the federal government was held, and of course the Vice President Kashim Shettima chaired it. Some very knotty issues were not, handled conclusively. One being the issue of state policing and many more other areas. Anyway, we'll be giving you that and other stories on people and politics this morning. Welcome. I am Bonnie Onogu.
I'm Anastasia Odochi Uchenna. So this morning, as usual, we'll give you highlights of developments that trended in the polity in the last 24 hours. Some of which is that the VP, Kashim Shettima, presided over NEC meeting in Abuja yesterday. IPAC has called for passage of bill to reserve 74 constitutionally guaranteed seats for women in the National Assembly. Also, the court has given INEC the nod to go after the promoters of CBEX. NIMET workers call off strike after federal government's intervention. INEC expressed willingness to allow eligible Nigerians without PVC to vote in 2027. And then we'll come home. APC Initial Launga South are moving to reposition the party ahead of the 2027 elections. Abia State government has revoked a NASCO land title. Abia State government announced cancellation of monthly environmental sanitation over tomorrow's JAMB exams. Please join the conversation on Facebook, Magic FM Aba, like us and drop your comment.
Right, Vice President Kashim Shettima yesterday presided over the National Economic Council NEC meeting at the State House, Abuja. Several key national issues, including insecurity and state policing, were expected to dominate the agenda. The state governors and several deputy governors attended the meeting. Among those in attendance were the newly appointed sole administrator of River State, Rear Admiral Ibok Etiabas, retired, who is attending the NEC for the first time since his appointment. Also present were Delta State Governor Sheriff Oboroway. The first is attending since he went over to the APC. Of course, he left the PDP, and that's just a matter of days ago. Other governors in attendance were the chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, Abdurrahman Abdurazak of Kwara, Hassan Alia of Benue, Basi Otu of Cross River, Monday Okpebolo of Edo, Ubasani of Kaduna, and Alex Oti of Abia State. The National Economic Council NEC, which is chaired by the Vice President and comprises all 36 state governors, the Central Bank of Nigeria governor, and key officials, met, or rather do meet periodically to deliberate on economic and developmental matters and to advise the President accordingly. Among the presiding issues or pressing issues on the table were the growing insecurity in parts of the country, particularly in Plateau, Benue, Zamfara, and Kwara states. The outcome of the meeting was expected to shape federal and state level collaborations in tackling insecurity, boosting economic growth, and enhancing governance in Nigeria. Well, the NEC meeting held, some of the outcome we heard, the issue of state police was also tabled, but could not be conclusively handled. Of course, other matters did come up, but of course they have to be submitted to the President, and indeed maybe more policy issues will be the outcome, basically.
Every time they meet in Abuja and we hear they've made this resolution, when are we going to see really concrete actions to some of these resolutions? For me, I think that is what I want to hear. When they meet like this, just like we do our conventional meetings, do they have a review of the last meeting? What they talked about, how far implementation of what was discussed in the last meeting? I think this will help us so that anytime they meet, they tell us, okay, the last time we meet, we agreed on this. This is how we have reached in last meeting's agreement. It's not like every week, every time you come to Abuja to meet, you spend so much money. You can be sure the ESTA codes involved in moving these governors to Abuja. Most of them must have flown private jets, Alawi for the security people, advanced team. After all, these were meetings that were held through technology during the COVID era. So much waste, more of talk and less action. So like my question is, I hope there's one of them I can ask. Do you people review your last meeting, implementation level, or you just come and talk about what's trending and go?
Well, my worry is that the issue of insecurity, which is at the front burner, basically across the country, should have been a one agenda, just one agendum for the meeting to discuss. And in doing so, they should have looked at how do we tackle it and tell Nigerians, because for me, that was what I was expecting. Now, somebody said to be effective, which of course the leader of the Senate, Opeyemi Bamidele, did say last week, that they were considering a framework for state policing. That would have been top on the agenda, and that could have taken a whole day if they're approaching it from the different angles of, banditry, terrorism of the other kind, Fulani headers and farmers collision or attacks, if you ask me, the current spate of attacks in several states in the Middle Belt, and some other things. We are not seeing that, but again, let's hope that all that is on their mind, because they are politicians, is not just 2027. The only time you hear anything like a high-sounding drum from that end really is when they are talking about 2027, and I think it gets me worried. Actually, it gets me really, really worried. I don't know. The states so mentioned are very integral in terms of food for the country. And I fear, as I say all the time, that next year, going forward, we may just have a whole lot more, food insecurity, that we may have to be eating maybe a quarter of what we used to eat in a day.
Well, the Inter-Party Advisory Council, IPAC, has called for the immediate passage of a bill to reserve 74 constitutionally guaranteed seats for women in the National Assembly. This initiative is aimed at increasing female representation in the political sphere ahead of the next election, foster inclusive governance with Nigeria's democratic framework. The call was made during a 2-day capacity building workshop for female political leaders themed Breaking Barriers, Shaping Positive Attitude. The event was organized by the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, KURU, in collaboration with IPAC Directorate of Women Affairs. They pledged to intensify advocacy efforts with both the National Assembly and the Presidency to ensure the bill's passage.
Well, when you now number the people because of the agenda that should be constitutionally guaranteed, it means you have to divide them, first of all, across the two chambers, the red and the green. 74 by 2 is supposed to be 37, right? Is it going to be equal? Is it going to be more for the Senate or more for the House of Reps since they have more in number? Okay, that is one. Does that guarantee democracy in any form? Does that guarantee the fact that, as we have often heard, what a man can do, a woman can do better? But of course, that cannot be, because even from way back, even in the military era, we had an international conference in China where the affirmative action was declared, and a given percentage was supposed to be for women worldwide, because women are always tagging along. Fine and good. In Nigeria, for instance, where you have to have big pockets and there are other social factors that mitigate against, the position and participation of women in politics, yes, this may be okay, but does that guarantee democracy in any form? Because it's like handing out to you, otherwise you can't get it. If women, maybe we'll get to a position where in a classroom where an examination is set, they can say, okay, women can score lesser to qualify and men should score more. I think it's a question of making the parties have an open field where it will not be about who has more money or who has more influence. But we are not seeing that transparency yet, so for me, it's a good one. But how is it going to be patterned between the Senate and the House of Representatives, as the case may be? And maybe going forward, there will be a situation where they say, okay, if it is playing out fine, that is if it's adopted at the national level, maybe at the state level also, we can have some percentage, being handed out to women. Well, I think it's a jigsaw puzzle, really, but let's see how they're going to do it.
Well, I think that the way it is done in some developed countries is that the purpose of putting a ratio or constitutionally guaranteed seat is because of the political gladiators or political actors. We have seen over the years that despite every advocacy, there seem to be more number of men in the legislative houses. For example, in the Senate, we have 109 senators, but we have only 4 females. That figure is abysmal. In Abia State, we don't even have one woman in Abia House of Assembly. The last time we had was Nkechi, what's her name now? Blessing Waba. That was the last time. The last assembly, none. So there should be a deliberate effort. So what the people at Interpark and other stakeholders are saying, when you put a figure, what political parties will do now to allocate these seats to women and say, okay, in Abia State, for example, 2 state assembly seats must be women. So the parties will now determine during the selection process or their primary that there must be 2 women to be filled. So if you do it like that, you share it across the zones, and then the political parties will now do the needful. That is the shortest cut, which the people who are pushing this are saying we need to get it done, because all our years of talking seem to be falling on deaf ears.
Yes, I tend to agree with what you're saying, but I also said it was a jigsaw puzzle. Jigsaw in the sense that, okay, if all the parties at the end of the day say, okay, let's give room for at least 2 women per party, and that is if all the parties will agree, because we have very many parties, 2 women, 3, 4, 5 as the case may be per party. That is, the constitution should also spell that out. Now, haven't gotten those ones, and what it means to me is that they don't need to go through primaries anymore, but they will go through the main election. Supposing they don't win from
they will go through primary.
Yeah, well,
but they will make sure that the candidates that will emerge must be female.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If supposing they go through primaries and it's competitive, and they don't win, or even if they win, then you go to the main election, all right, and then except they say, okay, and this is serious. They say, okay, for this constituency and that constituency, it must be females from all the parties. In which case, in the constituency, for instance, everyone coming for that particular seat is a female, and whoever wins is a female going to the assembly, be it state or national. Otherwise, it's still something that is a bit tricky mathematically. But again, it's at the proposal level. Let's see how they'll fine-tune it, because it's not going to be quite easy. At the end of the day, the main election will be there. People will come from different parties. Is it going to be this constituency for this election year? It must be women. 2, 3, 4 constituencies. Would that be democratic as well? Big question. But we'll wait and see.
And I think it's particularly annoying because if you look at the voting population, it's basically women and youths. So it's annoying that the people who are determining who gets to power do not have a seat on the table. It's very, very disappointing. And that's why I think that those who are pushing this need to put more work, need to put more energy. Even as us, electorates, we should be intentional that in the next election, we must ensure, at least, if not for Abuja, in Abia State, we must have out of the 24 seats, 4 women minimum. I'm saying at least. I mean, we can do better. Look at Lagos, who just had a speaker, even though she was removed for political reasons. But they had one. Look at Anambra. We've had several states like that where there are female legislators. In Edo, we have people who are ranking lawmakers in the assembly. So why are we not there, Abia? Why?
Honestly, I don't know. Anyway, in Abia, let's correct one thing. When I think Onyekeke, there was this assemblyman that died and the wife, replaced him. So we have had, apart from Blessing Wagba, another woman in Abia House of Assembly. No, we're not mentioning
names. We said the last one we had.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I thought you were talking about the assembly over time.
Even that one, have you forgotten what happened? She was, in quotes, a mistake candidate. They were only trying to compensate her husband's loss.
She did there when the husband died. Now, when I talk here.
So she was not an intentional candidate from the beginning.
I think I'm going home with one word you used, that they have to ensure that they do a proper job on it so that they know how to arrive at the formula that will ensure that a female arrives. I was trying to, haggle something. It may be right, it may be wrong. How do we ensure that they don't have male competitors, let's say in a particular constituency, for a particular seat in a particular election.
If it is zoned, now,
right,
no man will contest.
Yes,
except
if they arrive at a position where they say, okay, in this election year,
we have
from this zone for this seat, it has to be all females across all parties. In which case, any female that wins represents women in that constituency. Then in the next election, another zone for this seat, all women. I don't know how they're going to fashion it out, but I think it's a serious thing. It's not as easy as we are seeing it.
I think it's easy if we're intentional, because we cannot say all across all parties. We'll focus on the 3 major parties that we know will happen in that election. If in Abia, for example, we have an APC, a Labour Party, and a PDP, we'll focus on those 3 parties. So we wouldn't bother spreading our nets across and wasting our talents. No, we'll focus on those parties.
That's what I'm saying. Because we're talking about constitutional, which means it is binding.
Yeah.
And if it is binding, the Constitution will not segregate. The Constitution will leave an open field. That is the
the Constitution will say, get this figure. How you get it done, for me, I think now lies on the
it will say who or should say. When you say will, is as if all right, let's just take a break quickly. We will be back, and when we come back, some more interesting stuff on people in politics this morning. Don't go away.
Every day when my children return from school, I don't recognize them. Hello, do I know you?
It's us, mommy.
But these dirty, sweaty uniforms and socks, we're clean in the morning. Everything don't transform. I understand though, school is hectic. It takes energy to come home this transformed. So I make sure they have some nutritious Milo at breakfast.
Your kids need nourishing energy. Give them Milo at breakfast. It has nutrients that support energy release to help them get the most out of their day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo!
Little body, big moves. Little brain, big learning. Your little child is eager to do big things. Every sachet of Cerelac Junior comes with the nutrition they need: natural grains, protein, and iron to support their physical growth, learning, and development. So you can fully enjoy your little one's big moments of growth.
How far? This question now for you. What did they make you come up from bed for morning? Shina the sun with the rise? I been at your alarm with the ring? No, not that dream. That drive, that unstoppable force with the inside you. And you sabi within the further drive, not to start your day strong with rich creamy taste of Nescafe 3-in-1 with the carefully crafted from selected coffee beans. So whatever your hustle be, make you go from maybe or I know fit to I fit, and I go do Nescafe 3-in-1. Start gidigba, finish gidigba.
Don't let cracks and leaks ruin your day. Use Top Shield, quality waterproofing product for all kinds of concrete roofs, kitchen sinks, balconies, swimming pools, and water tanks. Top Shield, another quality product from the makers of Top Bond. Top Shield, build strong.
I want the so-free rice. I don't want it gummy rice. That's why I choose Kiara. See, I see this well, Kiara. Joy, joy, joy. The taste of joy is here. Pretty lady, African king, very good. Proudly Nigeria, and Bogu rice.
Experience the taste of joy with Pretty Lady, African King, Proudly Nigeria, Red Eagle, and Bogu rice. Kiara Rice Mills, the taste of joy.
Start your children's day with a
iji hụ na ozi efu ndị ahụ agaghị enwe ohere igbu gị wayo, anaghị akwụ ụgwọ onwe gị ndenye aha.
Biko ekuzina, ana m eji isonye Airtel fiam.
Airtel, a reason to imagine.
Ndị Aba unu ejikerela ethnocentric na mmemme ejiji ọdịnala na-ewetara gị ejiji yana mmemme azụmahịa omume kachasị nke ukwuu. Egwuregwu ejiji 2025 na-abịa o. Ejiji ahụmahụ na-enweghị atụ n'ebe a na-aba kpọmkwem jikere maka ya o. Asọrọmpi ejiji runway show, carnival ngosi, azụmahịa na ọtụtụ ihe ngosi na emume ngosi akwụkwọ na ihe nrite maka ndị sonyere n'emume ejiji ọdịnihu FFP. Ụbọchị a ga-eme ya bụ n'abalị 30 nke ọnwa Eprel afọ 2025. Ebe a ga-anọme ya bụ na Enyimba Steeti Stadium Aba mgbe ọ kụrụ elekere 9 nke ụtụtụ nọrọ ebe ahụ o ekwekwala ka akọrọ gị akọrọ bịa gosi ọnatara na chi gị na ndị isi ụlọ ọrụ jikọọ ma soro na ndị na-ahazi ọdịnihu ejiji ngwa ị chọrọ isonyere n'ihe omume a ngwa ga-adebanye aha gị ugbu a n'efu na akwụkwọ ụgwọ ọbụla na www.fashionfootwearprogram.com ngwa sonyere ha maka ịmatakwu ihe ndị na-eme na Facebook nakwa Instagram na Fashion Games 2025 ebe a na-enweta ihe nrite maka ejiji Fashion Game nke afọ 2025 onye na-agbasa ejiji ya bụ Ethnocentric Limited.
All right, we're back. People and politics. The Federal High Court in Abuja has granted the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to arrest and detain 6 alleged promoters of Crypto Bridge Exchange recently involved in a massive cryptocurrency investment fraud. Technologies International Limited to promote the CBEX platform, persuading members of the public to invest. Well, this has been a recurring thing in Nigeria. Maybe people have forgotten that there were times, even during the Babangida era, that we had what was known as the Wonder Bank. And the Wonder Bank actually came like a flash in the pan, and Nigerians were defrauded out of this world. How can somebody say you invest, let's say 5 naira, and within 1 month you get, 2,000 naira? How realistic is this? Unfortunately, you have people who even studied economics, being victims of this kind of schemes. In recent times, before CBEX, we've seen a whole lot more. When the MMM thing came, and we have beautiful names for this. Now another will still come in Nigeria, and I see myself and yourself, not Bonnie anyway, falling for it. Just like gambling. People who gamble, they don't listen to the second voice. And this is what it is now. Now the court has given an order, yes, which means it is subject of litigation. And it will take a long time, because for anyone to defraud you of that amount, if the money is with such a person, definitely he has a big financial arsenal to shoot from.
Facts are beginning to emerge that this CBEX fraud was a little bit more sophisticated compared to the others, because I also watched an interview on one of the national TVs, and the woman did say that before she invested, she even did a background check and found out that they were registered with the Corporate Affairs Commission, did some other checks, and saw that they had some collabo with government approvals, and which was why she invested her money. Now the court has also given a nod for EFCC to arrest these people, which means there were faces, there were offices compared to others that were basically online. So how did we get to this level and the agencies involved did not find out that it was a fraud? Well, good to know we are now getting somewhere. Let's see how far we can go with these 6 people, and then let's see how much or how far we can get in recovering the money, because as far as those involved are concerned, the arrest is not their problem. Can I get my money back? That's the only thing they're thinking right now, and that's what is the focus.
Again, every action taken on this should be put in the public space so as to serve as a deterrent. As we speak, not many people across Nigeria may have heard or learned about this particular scenario. Not many people are listening to us right now, even on radio. Not many people watch television for obvious reasons. So, as the action is being taken on it, now that permission has been granted for the EFCC to tackle the matter, I want to expect that every step of it in the court should be mentioned and put in the public space so that people get to hear about it on a continuous basis. It will be a lesson for everyone to learn. Even in our local markets, you see someone who hold a chicken, a cock, for instance, and then have some paper where you have to scratch and win. And you see people falling for them. You can scratch it tomorrow and you don't win. Now, when many people have scratched too many spaces and there are a few spaces left, they will throw that one away and bring another one when they go to another part of the market. And then people start afresh. You keep scratching and you don't win, and they keep going. When the spaces are finished, they throw that one away, bring a fresh one, go to another side of the market, and people keep scratching and they end up not winning. The next market day, or the next market in the next village, as the case may be, they still go there. So we have to bring it down because there are different forms of kalu gambling, different forms that people use, to hoodwink people. You're traveling from Aba to Lagos in the night, somebody will, stand up, start praying and sermoning and everything, quoting portions of the Holy Book, only to get somewhere like Arungwa, and the person starts bringing out fake products. And the person who was just praying starts to tell you the beautiful things about fake products, and people buy. That is the kind of country we have. And it's not too different from the CBEXs of this world or other forms of, MMMs that have failed us. Let's learn a lesson.
Workers of the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, have called off strike after federal government's intervention yesterday. The workers had protested over poor working conditions, grounding flights across the country. But after a meeting with the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, the strike was called off. The workers are concerned over non-implementation of the new national minimum wage, ignoring requests to include omitted staff in past allowances, neglecting key training programs, amongst others. The meeting was attended by the DG NIMET, officials of the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA, the National Union of Transport Employees, and key stakeholders. The strike actually has lingered for 2 days, left passengers on scheduled local flights stranded at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, Murtala Muhammad International Airport, Lagos, and others.
Well, it is a typical story of Nigeria. When you talk about labor-government relationships, even yesterday we talked about what happened in Abia because it was predicted right on this show on Monday. Yeah, we did say that the NUT that had given a 14-day ultimatum much earlier, and that involved both national, zonal, and state level. Government did not yield to it. Then a 7-day ultimatum was given. And then Ben rightly put it on the show here. He said, hours to the strike to take off, there will be midnight meetings and it will be called off. That is exactly what has happened in the case of NIMET now. NIMET did not just wake up one day and say, we are going on strike. They gave all the information. They gave everything that needed to be given. Government did not budge when it was just a knock on the door. And then a meeting was held and it has been called off. It is typical of us. All the other associations in the country, if you find out, that is the way it has always been. Look at ASU, NASU, SASU, talk about them, JUSUN, and so many others. It is always at the nick of time that government calls them to a round table. But what happens? We've had situations in the country where memoranda of understanding were signed and memorandum of agreements were even signed. Yet, those things were not, adhered to at the end of the day by government. So why is it so? Question.
I remember watching a video from Alan Onyema, the Airpeace boss. The man was just losing his mind. Stop all flights! Stop all flights! I don't want any blood on my hands. Stop off! I watched the video and I saw how passionate a business owner is. Because how can I fly when I do not know the weather? I do not know if there's going to be a thunder strike or a thunderstorm. I do not know if it's safe for people to fly. And you are telling me to fly my plane. And Alan practically circulated the interview or call on various social media platforms to say, please, my planes are not going to fly if NIMET is not going to fix things for their workers. And that was quite good. And I felt that at some point in our life, we should get to a level where we see business owners showing responsibility. Not just about the money. You could hear Alan shouting, return the money, return the money. I've just felt that man has not been given enough flowers in this country. He deserves it. Every time he comes out, he shows that I'm not just in business. I love what I'm doing and I want to keep people safe.
Well, that is beautiful. But you only took my mind back to, the town where I lived, where lorry owners back in the day, when they heard the story of an accident involving any of their vehicles, the first thing they ask, engine scatter. They would not bother about whether they were human beings in the lorries or buses or whatever the case was, because along the line, you said, I don't want anything to happen to my plane and all that. I think it's about the human first. But the good thing is that you also mentioned, I don't want any blood in my hands. That is about the human part of it before business. Okay? Last minute meetings over what you've been, given notice about is the case with Nigerian government, federal and state. All right? When shall we change all that? What were the things discussed at the last minute that couldn't have been discussed much earlier? And I tell you, oftentimes it's just to, postpone the evil day, because whatever agreement was reached would never be adhered to by government, only in very rare cases. Very, very rare cases. Just yesterday, or day before yesterday, we were told that the federal government had given out 50 billion naira to pay the allowances of ASU, SANU, and other university staff monies that were being owed. And they were politicizing it as, the magnanimity of the president for releasing the 50 billion naira. These things or money was owed these people who worked for it. There had been issues lingering over several years, leading to where agreement was reached and the money started being paid, in part. So why politicize it? Why promote anyone? It belongs to these people, for crying out loud.
Bonnie, I say we have been mesmerized in this country, that even when they feed us crumbs, we jubilate. Not what we receive here. If you pay workers money that you owe them, they will be singing and dancing, calling you capacity governor, thanking you for money they worked for. That's what we see. Politicians have they don't finish us. We don't even know what we deserve.
Well, it's been said, and I think it's true, that the people get the kind of government they deserve. Because, if something was pretty bad for so long and just overnight something small that is good is done, and you use that to counter everything you felt over time, I honestly feel is the mentality of the Nigerian. And I think, again, that we should begin to educate ourselves far more than, at a point we started saying we do not earmark anymore, that we want to eyemark. I hope we have said that before. Let's be eyemarking. We have our ear don't full. Make with the see kuru kuru. That is what we want.
In some developed countries, if their own NEPA now, their version of PHCN wants to do some renovation work,
you are still
2 weeks.
You are in the old school. PHCN and NEPA.
2 weeks. 2 weeks before that, they will be issuing statements on radio, TV, announcing we are sorry on the 27th of so. There's going to be a renovation work. We'll take power out for just 2 days. We are sorry. Look at Cotonou here, that we are the ones supplying them electricity. They are having light 247. You are supplying somebody, the person is having light 247. And then here, when we have light for 2 days, we post on social media, oh, it's been a wonderful day. For 2 days, our lights never blink once. Hey, Abba Power, God bless you. When I see such posts on Facebook, I say, chai.
Well,
see how we don't finish us.
I hear that some fellows are reporting, media practitioners all over the place that they are against their business. It's not true. The media reports the reality. I live in an environment, and I will say that continuously, no matter what anybody says, that the entire community has been thrown into darkness for months and may never have light again, because the houses in the place have not been enumerated, the houses in the place have not been metered, and the manner of paying is so shrewd and moribund, that you have to have people collecting money for a company, and whether they return the money to the company or not, you don't know, and the entire people suffer. That is not the media talking about any person's business. And so we can stand tall as individuals living in communities to talk, and if the media stands in the gap for the people, all right, as advocates, they will talk for the people. It's part of the job we do. All right?
Why not be now, Bonnie? Yesterday, the government has released what seemed to be like a timetable for the new term. So the Abia State Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education has hereby informed principals of public schools, heads of schools, proprietors of private schools that school will resume on Monday, the 28th of April 2025 for the third term, that's the 2024-2025 academic session. Midterm breaks will happen Thursday, 19 June to Sunday, 22nd June 2025. Closing date for the third term will be Friday, 1st of August 2025. So the duration for the third term is 14 weeks. Holiday period will be from the 2nd of August to the 22nd of September 2025. There will be public holidays, 1st of May, Workers' Day, 12th of June, Democracy Day. All teachers are by this announcement informed to report for duty post accordingly. Parents are guardians and also advised to ensure that the children are wards return to school on Monday, as learning will commence immediately. This statement is from the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, was signed by the Commissioner, Elder Goodluck Chinedu Ubochi.
Well, good thing the information is coming. Again, I know that there was a mass employment of teachers. I hope they've been screened and given to schools, and of course they know what they're supposed to do based on the curriculum. That's a good one. Our children just have to be educated, all right? But again, since we are talking about school, I say again that the schools still need some form of emergency approach. Some of the schools are absolutely dilapidated. We see them around, and government has to do something. Yes, the efforts are going on. People say more on roads, fine and good, but I think these schools that these children are going back to, we have to see a way to make them look more impressive, all right? Because back in the day, those of us who went to boarding secondary schools, we used to envy our mates who were in schools that were established by the colonialists, because the environment was beautiful, flowers and trees and lawns, and those of us who didn't attend that kind of school were always envious of them. Can we have a situation where government will make these schools look good, plant flowers, do some pavements, do some aesthetics that will make children feel good when they come to school? I don't mind if that is the case at all. All right.
So parents, prepare. School is resuming on Monday. Shake your account. Shake them. Okay, we're still in Abia State, by the way. Just this morning, the government of Abia has revoked the land title granted to Enyimba Automated Shoe Company, Enasco. A move, they say, is to reclaim all government resources and assets contributed to the company. The decision follows a comprehensive regulatory, financial, and operational review undertaken by reputable Big Four professional service firms, which unraveled the significant discrepancies and corporate governance-related issues within Enasco. This is in a statement by the CPS, Okoha and Joko Okoha. So the Abia State government says they are committed to ensuring transparency and corporate governance in the management of public assets held under its custody in trust. Still from Abia, APC in Abia say they are positioning ahead of the 2027 general elections, and in a move to resuscitate the party in Isialangwa South, LGA, the state party chairman, Dr. Kingsley Ononowu, has underscored the need for members to be steadfast and united in achieving what he called overwhelming victory for the party in the next election. Speaking during a crucial APC stakeholders meeting held at the SZG Ephraim Mokonaya residence, the chairman expressed disappointment that APC lost majority of seats in the 2023 elections in the state owing to a lot of discrimination amongst members. Ononebu, represented by the state secretary Chidi Avoja, called on stakeholders to assist those at the ward level as they prepare for the 2027 general elections. Let's take a listen.
I cannot see like APC change. 2027 election is tomorrow. So I nanya mama ninga ninge mete gisalo ninge mete ya. Onya ba pananga falo ninge mete ya. Ye change pen style. Oh ma desi ninge mete gi hiro. Hence I am concerned. Onyo la bala card here like APC. It's no longer a new member. In politics, overtaking is allowed.
People and politics, providing the alternative voice within the democratic space.
We lost most of the elections in 2023, not because we didn't have the right candidates, but because we are not united. Unity, they say, is strength. And when we stand together in unity, we can achieve a lot. Internal party cohesion and unity is an easy for building a strong party that can win election. Whatever I have done, whatever one woman has done to offend each and every one of you, forgive and forget. Let's come back together, build our party stronger to win election in 2027. There's a lot awaiting us.
That was Ezeji Ephraim Wokonea, the husband to Mrs. Blessing Nwoma, where the meeting took place, where he was talking to party members. On her part, the candidate for Isialongo South State constituency, Lady Blessing Nwoma Wokonea, expressed hope that come 2027, more members will join the party.
APC is stronger now. They should be unified. They should work in unity so that we win elections. So that's why mainly we are here. And we are going to continue this meeting to make sure more members come in and APC is strengthened.
Okay. I think that there seems to be a lot of morale around the APC camp because of the actions of the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who has shown that he's a core party man who is ready to do whatever it takes for his party to win. And so you see the morale amongst members of the party. Just last week, stakeholders had a meeting in Ojuzo Kalu's house. Now we hear Isialongo South again. The other people in Okwa did their own as well. So there seemed to be a regrouping. I think that's what I was looking for amongst the APC family in Abia State.
Well, 2027 beckoning, and at all levels, you're hearing of the parties. For APC, just like you said, indeed, they are buoyed by the fact that Mr. President, I don't know, he is set to take over the entire country, give it to APC. Maybe he's now remembering that it is Anwon Loko, not them, it be their turn. All right, but again, that is politics. Somebody just said now that in politics, overtaking is allowed. I used to say my sports presenter say it. I didn't know it's also prevalent in politics. Now I know. All right, let's go on a break. More stories to tell you, but we'll go on a break and then we'll return. Stay with us.
nwanne agụụ na-anyụ ndị mmadụ ịkpakọ ọnụahịa dọla na petrol a na-arị elu ọjị ma anyị onwe anyị nọ na Union Bank akwadola otu narị nde naira na iri nde naira atọ na otu a ga-erite site na amụma Save and Win Pali Promo 4. ị nwere ohere ịbụ otu n'ime mmadụ atọ ga-enweta ihe nrite mara abụba dị narị nde naira ise n'otu tinyere ọmarịcha ihe nrite ndị ọzọ. iji rite ihe ndị a chekwa puku naira iri maọbụ karịa n'ọba ego gị dị na Union Bank ma kwụnye maọbụ wepụta ego ihe ruru ugboro ise kwa ọnwa. iji mepe ọba ego gaa na unionbankng.com. enwekwara ihe ndị so ya o. Union Bank, ụlọ akụ gị dị mfe ma dị ngwa ngwa.
Hello, Mandewo, achọrọ m inye driver ahụ ego gị ka o wetere gị ya na village.
Enyela onwe gị nsogbu nwa m. Ziga ya na akaụntụ Smart Cash m.
Mama, ya bụ na ị maara banyere Smart Cash.
Enu, ha na-enye ọtụtụ onyinye. Send ya na nọmba Airtel m.
Ọ dị mma, mam dị sharp.
Ngwa Piazza 939# ma ọ bụ download ngwa Smart Cash ka imepe akaụntụ nke gị ka ị nwee ike yorie nnukwu onyinye 20,000 naira na Smart Cash. Ị ga-esite na onyinye 20,000 naira gị kwụọ ụgwọ oge ọbụla izuru oge okwu ma ọ bụ kwụọ ụgwọ ọbụla na Smart Cash. Ị ga-enwekwa ike ime transfer gaa na bank ọbụla na Nigeria. Usoro na ọnọdụ dịkwa ya.
Hello, ọ batala.
Smart Cash, Airtel kwadoro ya.
Ịtụ ndụ mmanụ na-amasị m ya mere m jiri na-eri nri akpọrọ aka sie nke na-edozi ahụ. N'ime ite ji porridge ntinyecha azụ ntinye yabasị ose na ogo tupu m tinyezie nut cube nke ga-ewepụta ọmarịcha ụtọ dị na nri m ka ọ bụrụ eri amịcha aka. Hey, ndị be anyị chetanụ na nke onye riri ka o buo. Tinye akwụkwọ nri na-ama pokopoko na nri gị niile, werezie Knorr Cube mee ya ka ọ bụrụ eri amịsha aka. Rie nri na-edozi ahụ taa.
Little body, big moves. Little brain, big learning. Your little child is eager to do big things. Every sachet of Cerelac Junior comes with the nutrition they need: natural grains, protein, and iron to support their physical growth, learning, and development. So you can fully enjoy your little one's big moments of growth.
As the morning sun is rising, and it's time to start your day, you need that creamy, creamy taste. Dano evaporated milk. Pour it, taste it, the richness so amazing. Dano evaporated milk.
Now you can enjoy a great creamy taste with Dano Full Cream and Dano Cool Cow Evaporated Milk. Try it and taste the Dano difference.
Malanta! Malanta! Malanta!
Hey, yes, so now so you take no malaria-free community. For me, I no fear malaria again, no. Sake of say, Malanta day for me. With double artemeter and lumefantrine, with the inside Malanta, my day today no get wahala jare. That's now why happy malaria-free community they talk say Malanta. It's solid and it dey work wella. Malanta. You know they tear pocket. Malanta. Now for man and woman.
Malanta gear.
Now for papa and the mama.
Malanta gear.
Even for children.
Malanta dispersible.
If malaria showing ugly face again, throw Malanta give am. Now why happy malaria-free community they shout Malanta! Get Malanta DS today to summer that malaria. Malanta DS go save the day. Will they available
in the people of Old Bender in his cabinet? This is total inclusiveness, irrespective of where one comes from. Your leadership will inspire a brighter future for our dear state. Congratulations to all of you. It's a sign by Onye Makalu, Chairman, Promise Okoro, Vice Chairman, Uche Ifago, Secretary, Emmanuel Azuma, Treasurer, Okechukwu Kalu, PRO, Ikedi Peter, Provost, Obinna Okwara, Assistant Secretary, Stanley O. Ndukwe, Advisor, Nwankwo Oche, Advisor, Kingsley DK, Patron, and Igwe Anyogo, Grand Patron.
People and politics, providing the alternative voice within the democratic space.
All right, this message is to all of us, and I want to mention, the security agencies, the task forces, and indeed those who are, empowered to ensure that environmental sanitation is done. But there's a twist in it because of a very germane reason, and that's the reason we're coming up with this. The Abia State government has announced the cancellation of its monthly environmental sanitation exercise scheduled for tomorrow, Saturday, April 26, 2025. I emphasize that the government has cancelled the monthly environmental sanitation scheduled for tomorrow, Saturday, April 26, 2025, in a move aimed at ensuring free movement for candidates sitting for this year's Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination UTME. In a statement released, the Commissioner for Environment, Philemon Asonye Obunna, said the decision was taken to allow students taking the JAMB organized examination to access their designated centers without hindrance. Despite the suspension of the formal sanitation exercise, the government urged residents across the state to take personal responsibility for cleaning their surroundings. The Commissioner emphasized the importance of environmental hygiene in promoting public health and preventing disease outbreaks, calling for collective action in maintaining cleanliness.
Yeah, so JAMB started yesterday, but they spread it across 3 days. And for some persons that need to get to their venue on time on Saturday, there were concerns that the cleanup exercise may impede on their movement. So I think government did look into that. It's okay. It's better to just cancel the whole thing so that our children can have uninterrupted movement to their destination. So wishing all of you good luck tomorrow, by the way.
Yes, one key thing here is the message from the Commissioner, wherein he said that people should take responsibility for cleaning their environment I add to it by saying that we do not have to wait until government says clean your environment, for crying out loud. Notwithstanding this, cancellation, I need to say again that we should spend the first 1 hour of the morning to do the needful, not because you are being forced to, and you shouldn't be forced anyway. You can still do that and go to your job, okay? Like I mentioned earlier, security agencies, task forces, chiefs, youths in some environments, please note that the environmental sanitation for tomorrow has been cancelled, and the reason has been so advanced.
So finally, before we open the phone lines, INEC has expressed willingness to allow eligible Nigerians without PVC to vote in the next election, but insists that such a move must be backed by legislative amendment. Chief Press Secretary to the INEC Chairman Rotimi Onyekomi said the Commission is committed to expanding voter access through technology. The initiative followed remarks by the INEC Chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu in December during a quarterly consultative meeting with resident electoral commissioners. He highlighted the growing role of technology, particularly the bimodal voter accreditations. I think in summary, it's just that a lot of Nigerians complained during the last elections that they were disenfranchised because they do not have their PVCs. Some people moved to other locations and could not transfer their PVCs. So what INEC is saying is, in order not to give room for people to be disenfranchised, we're going to bring up a system that whether you have PVC or not, you will be able to vote. Maybe they will find a way. I don't know what they're planning, but by the time they put up what they're planning, we will know how they want to achieve this. But it has raised concern amongst Nigerians that is going to open the space for rigging of the process. So that's why I said we do not know what is their plan B. Plan B in the sense that if you don't have PVC, you can use this. Or when you appear, you must show us this to show that you're eligible to vote. I don't know what the details will be. But for now, there is fear already amongst the electorate that this is just a way to open the space for rigging. But like I said, until we see what they're bringing to the table.
You see, everywhere I've been yesterday, questions were being raised, and some persons were asking as if I work with INEC. But again, as a concerned Nigerian, I took into account, those fears by fellow Nigerians. I think of discerning minds too. The impression I got was, whether you have PVC or not, then it's as good as saying, do not bother to register. Anywhere you find yourself, you can vote. But you have put it succinctly. There would be, I believe, a way and mean of dealing with how to have people. There were exemptions, there were, laws guiding who should vote and who was eligible to vote or not. We still had in some places in the country where infants, children less than 8 years, had their voter cards, and they were showing it clearly for the world to see. We had situations where people even came from across the country, in some zones of this country, to vote on election days. So the PVC and other measures were actually to prevent such. So
how do we get them involved? That is the question.
The process should be trustworthy. Government should be believable. INEC itself, INEC should be believable. Because they promise us that the next election will be better, and then the next one will be better, and that is how we continue, and it has always been. Even in off-season elections, INEC, you hold the key to this. All right? But we're watching. Let's see how you come up with this. But it won't be, a free-for-all that you don't have a PVC and you can vote. That is a big problem coming. I hope we won't descend to that level. All right, this is where we ask you now to join us. Let's get talking at the interactive level. To join us, you can call 0907 677 1029, 0916 988 1029, 0809 666 1029. And then on Facebook, we are Magic FM Aba. YouTube is Magic FM Aba, one word. Twitter is at Magic FM. Instagram is also at Magic FM Nigeria. Let's see how you feel, what you think about our show this morning, and what your thoughts are. Hello, good morning. You're welcome. Hello? No, just hold on. Just hold on. All right. Yeah, talk to us.
Thank you. I am Zefan Onyema, which I put here the phone open. Yeah, cancellation of sanitation at the right direction. Good thinking, good governance. Kudos to Alex Otti. Let me start like this. INEC expressing willingness to allow eligible Nigerian staff and PVC to vote. Very controversial. To my understanding, and that's the way I'm saying it, this is my opinion. It is a move to read as usual as APC continuity, your ED. Then let me talk on this. Why did NEC postpone talking of state policy despite rise in killing? Why is Tinubu afraid to declare state of emergency? This beats my imagination as more killing and more kidnapping on the increase. Please, I'm not comfortable with that. Then I have a question. I need to know, is it constitutionally right for a sole administrator to attend next meeting? The fan wake up here of phone love magic. Do justice to this question, please.
It's a fun. The same way the INEC chairman travels, and then the next ranking director, for example, acts in his stead, is the same way we do not have a governor right now in Rivers, and there is somebody who is acting in the place of a sole administrator. So he's like an acting governor. So yes, he should be at the NEC meeting to also bring his own discussions about what's happening in Rivers. It's just about nomenclature. He's not elected, yes, but he's acting as a governor, so he should be there.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Itikwane. My name is Evangelist Akobawo Obnaya.
Okay.
I don't know why people, let me put it in a way you understand what I'm saying. Nigerians are skeptical about the dealings of INEC. They should exercise hope and trust on INEC, because from what I'm seeing, they are going to do well this time around. They have been doing good, though. They have been doing well, but this time around, they are going to be better. So people should learn how to trust maybe INEC enough. Thank you, and God bless you.
You're right. It's just that considering where we're coming from, it's difficult. I remember one time I was traveling to Switzerland and our plane almost crashed. Do you know, for like 2 years to enter plane they fear me because the trauma was still in my head. Right. So I think that's what's happening to Nigerians who've been traumatized by the elites. So anytime they tell us, hey, we are checking, is it really A, or they are trying to deceive us again? So it's a mind wahala. We need help, mental help. They have so bruised us. Like I said earlier, we do not even know what we deserve. That's where we are right now as a people. Sadly so. Hello? Hello? Go ahead, please.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, please.
Yeah, this is Evangelist Thomas.
Okay.
Yeah, Ali, please, I want to make a request. Can you join any party come 2027 and then contest election? I want you to do that. Again, Nigeria is not becoming better and better and worse. That any citizen can now vote, even goat or cockroach or rat can now vote without this all Nigeria.
Hmm. Did you actually finish or the thing went off? I don't even know. Sorry about that. Hello?
Hello?
Thank you for calling.
Good morning, Annie and Mr. Bonnie.
Go ahead, please.
This is Sisi. I'm calling from Mumimo.
Okay.
We are sick and tired of INEC and all the whole of their stories. They are the ones that put us in this mess we are facing these days. So let us forget about INEC and their selection process. That's my submission.
Okay, thank you. Even though your background was a little bit busy or noisy, I would say, but
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
My name is Ekele Elele. I call from Omontai in Isialangwa South, Aga State.
Go ahead, please.
May I air my view on the issue of insecurity in Nigeria? The issue of insecurity in Nigeria cannot be overemphasized. To me, it is a June 12 for the power that be. Both the power that left, the power that is now, the power that is to come. It is a June 12. It is a no-go area because government come and leaves without touching it. It appears there is a lay-down principle. Do not touch this area. Insecurity. Do not touch it. I refer my mind back to the time of Anini, the armed robber. It was said that Anini was invisible. Anini was this and Anini was that. When the president then found out and changed the IGP, the then IGP, a new IGP came, he changed all the apparatus of the police. It didn't take them up to 2 weeks before they arrested Anini. These people, they are hiding something from us. They are hiding something from us. Now, let me give a little example. In Magic FM, if a new person, if a new employee enters Magic FM will tell him or her, this is how things are being done here. June 12th, for the people. Security and insecurity is June 12th for them. If they want to change the narratives about insecurity in Nigeria, let them change the apparatus of the police and the military.
Please summarize your thoughts, please.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. All right, we take some messages on Facebook. And Prince Lord Shakina is a sole administrator to Grace and NEC meeting. Was he invited or did he just decide to go there? You think that the villa is over here where you can just walk in? Of course he was invited. Urumuki, INEC and legislature should work towards electronic voting in 2027. That's the way to go, instead of voting without PVC. Kingsley Uchechukwu Brown, me just saying in the alleged voice of Mr. President to Southern PDP governors, join APC and let's demystify the voting influence and power of the North, which will brighten up the political future of the South. Your second term in office is us, raises eyebrows. The same PVC were meant to come for days before collecting, with the money collected, insults given another way to rig election. Nnamdi Christian, INEC expressing willingness to allow eligible voters without PVC to vote is a welcome development. Voila. Stanley Wanko believes that the 2027 election rigging will be massive. Kingsley Simeon Chijoki, Shatima presiding over NEC, with over 200 people have been slaughtered in the country, shows how low we are rated by the ruling political class. I remember when people were calling him a master strategist. That was when I knew. What is this? Hassan Tobona, the National Executive Council meeting in Abuja ending with a whole lot of proposal without implementation. Ours is a system where decision making is always difficult when it's come to issues directly concerning the citizens. Best man can do way. INEC allowing people without PVT to vote is another strategy of rigging. Well, it's a proposal for now. It has not reached the National Assembly. The National Assembly has not done anything about it. So don't sound as if it's already law. It's just a proposal. Unique from Umojima. Revoking the NASCO land is good, but what will be the outcome in the end? I suggest you missed something. They should stop putting people on suspense just for personal relevance. Daniel Lodinaka Chimobilo. With PVC, we have always rigged, and voting without PVC, without PVC now ain't gonna really make any difference. Oh, ain't gonna. Okay. Oh. Watching us from the live feed, Ajebu Ikechku, APC is wasting their time and energy in Abia. You don't know whether Governor Alex is going to APC. Ajebu, this politics, cross your Lego. He said, Mrs. Annie, I hope you're doing well, you and your family. Thank you for asking. We do well. Ichie Obuefi Nairugo. Okay, a single day is not enough to gather the votes of Nigerians if we've decided to practice democracy. We should have a situation where I can walk into a public reputable space like banks, local government, quarters, police station, etc., drop out, vote electronically, and it reflects directly to the national, like it's done in America and some other countries. I get you. Oxford Lucius is commending us for the work. Thank you. Is reporting from Enyimba Stadium Plaza. Honestly, this unifying timetable of school activities, both private and government, is a welcome development, and he appreciates it. Kizito Naji is asking if the recruited teachers have been deployed. I have no idea. There's no announcement yet to that effect. Thank you. Anyam Chineni. Okay, he's listening from Imo State. God bless you. Thank you for the good work. We appreciate the kind words. I don't know why people don't learn. In the early 90s, there was this same Ponzi scheme called Resources Managers by one Umana in Port Harcourt. This is just greed, and the government agencies are supposed to stop it and not proactive. Follow. Lovely Nuche says EFCC should look into this matter seriously. Ichie. Okay, I think I read that one. Okay, this is another message from same person. It says Opera Money Point and Co is loading. The Yahoo we have been supporting is reversed against it. Hunger day for Yankee, them no they pay anymore. Well, Opay and the likes are known as fintech banks. They are not Ponzi schemes. They have a different category, but I do not know how the activities are being streamlined, whether government is also monitoring. I have no idea. But I just wanted to clarify that they are fintech banks. Okay, we'll go on a break. When we return, the program continues. Please don't go away.
Enjoy a great creamy taste with Dano Full Cream and Dano Cool Cow Evaporated Milk. Try it and taste the Dano difference.
My guy, make we dey go now. Our guys dey wait oh.
Bros, my body no gree cooperate today oh.
Which kind yawa be that? Abeg come sit down, Joe.
Sit down?
Yes.
The thing no gree me now.
Abi that your pile wahala don come again?
Oh, pile wahala no be small thing oh. Na so e go dey start you. If it swell up or to dey comot blood sef, to sit down sef na gbege. That's why I say make you tackle pile problem with Anudol suppositories. Anudol suppositories get bismuth subgalate, balsam peru and zinc oxide to tackle pile. So you go fit dey kampe to do your work sharp sharp.
Oh yeah, my guys. Make we go. Madam do good. One bottle for my guys.
Anudol suppositories. Now your relief for pile. Anudol suppositories. Now Daily Need Industries they make am. Make una read the product leaflet o. If after 2 days you know better, go see your doctor.
How far? This question na for you. Wetin dey make you comot from bed for morning? Shey na the sun wey dey rise? Abi na your alarm wey dey ring? No, na that dream, that drive, that unstoppable force wey dey inside you. And you sabi wetin dey fuel that drive? Na to start your day strong with rich creamy taste of Nescafe 3-in-1 wey dey carefully crafted from selected coffee beans. So whatever your hustle be, make you go from maybe or I no fit to I fit and I go do am. Nescafe 3-in-1. Start gidigba, finish gidigba.
Little body, big moves. Little brain, big learning. Your little child is eager to do big things. Every sachet of Cerelac Junior comes with the nutrition they need: natural grains, protein, and iron to support their physical growth, learning, and development. So you can fully enjoy your little one's big moments of growth.
Drivers, they struggle every day. Plenty wahala. Wahala, Genji Kasala. I don't bring good story. Total energies I get better oil when protecting engine. Total energies I get engine go last well. Total energies I get go day before you go check me oil. Total energies I get.
Experience Total Energies for everyday engine protection and more mileage.
Ịtụ ndụ mmanụ na-amasị m. Ya mere m jiri na-eri nri akpọrọ aka sie nke na-edozi ahụ. N'ime ite ji porridge m tinyecha azụ, ntinye yabasị, ose na ogo tupu m tinyezie nut cube nke ga-ewepụta ọmarịcha ụtọ dị na nri m ka ọ bụrụ eri amịcha aka. Ndị be anyị chetanụ na nke onye riri ka o buo. Tinye akwụkwọ nri na-ama pokopoko na nri gị niile, werezie nut cube mee ya ka ọ bụrụ eri amịcha aka. Rie nri na-edozi ahụ taa.
Mr. Teacher, please, what happens when children come to school? How is it that they leave home very neat and return looking so different?
Non-stop action, ma. All the learning and sports burn energy. So those sweat stains, dirty uniforms and shoes, they show that your kid has been very active.
Now, wow.
Your kids need nourishing energy. Give them Milo at breakfast. It has nutrients that support energy release to help them get the most out of their day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo!
All right, thank you for sharing your time to us, your time with us on Facebook. Adi Oji Okosisi, leadership is a problem in Nigeria. Chinwe Solomon, Sister Annie Kama will support you. You're the second person saying this today. Thank you for the kind thoughts. Someone did call earlier to mention thank you. Well, you know, politics in Nigeria is capital intensive. Maybe when I save enough money, I can listen to you. For now, I never get money. All right, thank you for the kind thoughts. I'm serious. Okay. Hello, we return to the phone lines. Hello. Uh-oh. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Thank you, sir. Go ahead, please. Okay.
INEC saying that they will allow those that doesn't have PVC to vote.
Proposal.
Whether the House of Assembly members want it or not. Those people, anything that is brought on their table, they will just approve it. So this is just telling us that both the goods, rats, and everything will vote during 2027 election, general election, so that they can do whatever they think they want. So these INEC people and the...
But yes, your fears are legit. Hello.
I'm General Dr. John Nwoko, and we are ready to sponsor you, whether you have saved money or not. The political powers and those elections are all accepted. Be ready. We are ready to sponsor you.
It's not easy. Aww. Thank you for the kind thoughts. Your last caller. Maybe I'll take home what you just said. It's not as easy as you think one day. But thank you so much. I really appreciate the kind thoughts. So thank you everyone for sharing your time with us. It's a Friday, so enjoy your weekend. Tomorrow, to our people, candidates writing JAMB, we wish you all the best. And we pray you come out in flying colors. But still, for those of you who are not writing JAMB, even if there's no official cleanup exercise, you can still clean your home. It's a Saturday, right? Okay. So thank you so much for sharing your time with us. Have a lovely weekend. Bye-bye.